every opportunity you get to drive a Jeep is a good one, and this 2016 gray on black Jeep Rubicon is no exception. I'm going to be spending the day with it and giving you my overall thoughts. So welcome to the 2016 Jeep Rubicon. This is a JK model. It's a 4-door. It's a very nicely spec'd model. As soon as I got into it, I was very impressed. These 2016 Rubicons are equipped with a 3.6 liter V6 motor. It makes 285 horsepower, and it's got a curb weight of about 1,000 pounds. Not a bad little runner. As you guys saw in the introduction, it comes from the factory with BF Goodrich mud terrain tires. The nice thing about the modern Jeeps, and I know I'll offend some purists here, but they come with automatic sway bars and front and rear axle locks. That way you don't have to get out and mess with them on the side of the road anymore. You can just hit it with a press of a button over here by your left knee. And this model also has heated seats on both sides. It's got traction control. It's got the decline stabilizer, and it's actually got a 110 power port right here under the armrest. One of the other nice things that Jeep provide you is this nice nostalgic little toolkit, and what this is a nice little ratcheting set which gives you all the tools you need to remove the roof. So the plan for this Jeep is to take it down a couple city streets, down the highway, and a couple off-road trails and see how it handles each thing. Obviously, if you're looking for a Jeep, you're hopefully an off-roader, and here looks like a good place to start. So I think that we can all agree that Jeeps are synonymous for being absolutely amazing machines off-road. They have a high level of customability, high level of upgradability to really handle any kind of off-road situation that you're looking to achieve. Now, on the flip side of that coin is you're obviously going to have to spend some time on the road, and I think a lot of the older Jeeps have quite a bad reputation, whether warranted or not, for being absolute dogs on the pavement. I do know that this is more present in the 2-door versions over the 4-door version that I'm driving now due to the longer wheelbase, but it's still something to consider. So keep in mind, while we're driving, we do have mud terrain tires on this Jeep. It is a 4-door, all the windows are up. We do have the hardtop on, and I'm in 2-wheel drive. It's a 3.6 V6 motor like we talked about earlier, and it's got a good amount of pickup and go. Like I said, it comes in just under 300 horsepower, which these aren't known for being incredibly powerful. They're known for that low range power and that ability to crawl and kind of train through anything rather than a lot of top end speed. A really nice FJ Cruiser here we're going to pull up next to. These are kind of the main competitors to the Jeep, I want to say. The difference between those FJs that I'm parked next to right now and these Jeep Wranglers is I can actually see out of this Jeep. I've driven one of those FJs before, and the blind spots are absolutely horrible. Puts a thorn in my side over those Toyota FJs. As we get on the highway here, we're going to see how the acceleration is. And it's not sluggish. It's not too bad for a 3.6 V6. We're already up to 60. And can easily get going with traffic. So here we are traveling at freeway speeds, and this is where kind of Jeep's known for losing its dog in the race. We're going approximately 72 miles an hour. And as you can tell, the wind noise is picked up quite a bit compared to what it was on the city streets. That's bound to happen. It's because these roofs are removable, which is absolutely outstanding for the summer. But for some of those more adventurous features, this is where you compromise here on the highway. It's not overbearingly loud, but it is definitely a present wind noise. Obviously the mud terrain tires put off a small amount of road noise. Not too bad in these. I believe they're BF Goodrich. In terms of Jeep on the inside, I absolutely love the driving position. As you guys see earlier in my channel, one of my friends does have a YJ similar to this, but his is more modified, and not going to spend a ton of time on the highway because it is obviously just the highway, but I wanted to give you a well-rounded review of different driving conditions on different driving surfaces. You know, after driving this Jeep for a couple of miles, probably got 30 miles on it now, it's not underpowered at all, actually. You know, some of the previous Jeeps I've driven, the 4-liter versions and some of the earlier versions were definitely underpowered, but you know, this, like I said, this 3.6 liters keeping up with traffic. I'm having no trouble with acceleration. It's not sluggish at all. Obviously that stuff kind of goes out the window when you do start doing bigger wheels, bigger tires, lift kits, things of that nature. But on a factory spec Wrangler, it's not too bad at all. Something to consider if you are going to be driving this on a daily basis. Just keep in mind that you know, you are driving something that's intended for an off-road application, and that does affect the ride quality on the road. Actually, the only problem I've had with this Jeep so far is keeping the outside clean, as you guys saw earlier. So it's not a bad price point at $34,000. I think you get a lot of vehicle for the money, and especially now that you can fit adults in the back seat, I think it's not a bad vehicle to go with whatsoever. I absolutely love the look of the Wrangler. It's one of my favorites, especially when tastefully modified, and I think that at $34,000, it's a great buy. If that's a little bit out of your price range and you still want to enjoy a Jeep, there are lower spec models that don't have quite so many options, and I would also recommend going with one of those. The only problem with it is if you do start to modify these Jeeps, it can be addictive. They do say Jeep stands for just empty every pocket, because the accessories that you can get into and the customization you can get into is costly, but I think it's totally worth it. I'm going to give this one an overall thumbs up. I would definitely drive one of these. I wouldn't complain about it whatsoever, and it's been a pleasure to spend the day with it today.
Now that fag is probably...
Oh, that's the goddamn highway patrol though.
Shit. Dude, this is straight clear forever.
Oh, that's deep. That's deep. Going too fast.
You got it.
That was in a 4? No.
See? Progress.
As always, thank you so much for your support. I've put a link here for you to click to easily subscribe. There's 2 videos below it that I think you might like. And as always, I appreciate your comments below. That's going to be it for this video, and I'm flat out of here.